May 2nd in Las Vegas, or if you prefer the countdown, 71 days away, whatever you prefer. It's huge. Floyd and Manny Pacquiao, this is at a Miami Heat game a few weeks ago, leading to some speculation that perhaps the fight was a little bit closer. They were together. Who knows what was said here? A lot of people thought it was about the purse split. Would Mayweather need to get more? Mayweather's legacy is on the line. He's unblemished. Pacquiao's lost 2 of his last fights. Would it happen? The fight everybody wanted to see, needed to see, preferred to see 5 years ago. But still, as many have called it, the fight of this generation is indeed on. As you take a look at the tail of the tape, Mayweather is slightly older, but he is perfect, and that's why so much is riding on the line for him. Pacquiao has struggled lately. Reach advantage by 5 inches goes to Money Mayweather, and at the end of the day, we'll see what happens. It'll actually be determined in the ring May 2nd in Las Vegas. For more, we bring in Teddy Atlas. He's an analyst on ESPN's Friday Night Fights. He joins us from Verona, New York, ESPN 2 at the top of the hour. He'll be on the air with Joe Tessitore, but let's talk about the news of the moment. The biggest story in sports is boxing, and that's not what we say often these days. You're an analyst. You've been in the ring. You've trained a ton of guys. Straight up, who's got the edge in this fight now that it's on, Mayweather or Pacquiao?
Well, I mean, the guy that had the edge going into the negotiation, and that might be a way of really handicapping this fight. That was Mayweather, because he had the options. He knew he had 2 fights left on that Showtime deal, so he could play hardball. And Pacquiao, he didn't. So he came to the table. He made concessions. He made a lot of concessions. So Floyd had the edge going in. Floyd has the edge, I believe, as the fight is going to take place now finally in the squared circle, because he's naturally the bigger guy. He has not learned how to lose. That confidence is so important at all times in our life, but especially when you're going to make a monumental moment like this. Confidence is everything. And of course, this fight should have happened 6 years ago. Since then, Marquez has been knocked out cold. That memory is still there somewhere. It will be Floyd's job to bring those ghosts back to the forefront, bring them to the mind of Pacquiao. The edge, Mr. Mayweather, the money man, the better defensive fighter, the guy that will take advantage of reckless aggression of Pacquiao.
All right, interesting. So if Money Mayweather has the advantage in your mind, let's just flip the script here, Teddy. Let's say you're advising or training Pacquiao. Now, you clearly think he's at a disadvantage here. What would you do to say he could do to perhaps stem the tide and make this a fight?
Listen, the greatest strength of Mayweather is his defense, his mind. Sometimes that's his greatest weakness. The people of Pacquiao need to understand that, as I understand that, because sometimes what I mean by that is Mayweather gets intoxicated. He gets drunk, and he doesn't drink liquor, as far as I know, but he gets intoxicated with his defensive prowess. He starts slipping and sliding and juking and duking a little too much sometimes and allow you to get into him. Pacquiao can match him just about with hand speed. Pacquiao is a busier fighter. Yes, I said it. He's a little busier than Floyd. Floyd doesn't throw a lot. He throws what counts. So understand that. Pacquiao will have opportunities when Floyd is into his defensive mode a little bit too much. That will give opportunities for Pacquiao to out-hustle him, just outwork him, and grab parts of rounds, and maybe steal rounds.
Interesting. Simple question here. How much does boxing need this fight?
What was that?
How much does boxing just need this fight to happen?
Listen, boxing survives without Pacquiao Mayweather, so calm down. Calm down. It's been around 200 years, okay?
Sorry,
They're
Teddy.
not the saviors. They're not, it's okay. They're not the saviors of boxing as much as it will help their promotion to put themselves forth as such, but they're not. Boxing has survived without them for many years and will without them for many years, but it is important to the point that it's got us talking on SportsSecond live about the fight, about boxing. That doesn't help. That doesn't happen quite enough. It's happening now. So for the overall sport, you get a fight like this that drives fans to talk. They're going to talk at the water fountain. They're going to talk in the car, in the carpools. They're going to talk when they're not supposed to be talking. That's good for boxing. It's very important. The fans, you know what the fans have been like? They've been like a guy walking in the Sahara Desert and their tongue is just hanging out and they're scorched. And they've been looking for something to get excited about. And now they look above and they see an oasis. Yeah. Finally, after walking in that desert, and they think that oasis is Pacquiao and Mayweather. I just hope it's not a mirage. I want them to get water, not sand in their mouths.
They're about to have a big drink of water on May 2nd. There's no doubt about it. I got to ask you, in terms of leading up to May 2nd, when you know you may have a fight like this, but you're never sure if it's actually going to go down, how much are Pacquiao and Mayweather just training for the instance that this fight might go down? Or is it just intense training from now until May 2nd?
No, listen, because you didn't know what was going on doesn't mean they didn't know what was going on.
Fair point.
They knew it was close. They knew how close it was. Listen, they're not going to be unprepared for this fight. They're going to be prepared. They know what they have to do. They had their oars in row to be prepared for this moment when it was going to officially be signed. And look, there's plenty of time. One thing is, you don't want to overtrain. I believe to this day that as great as Sugar Ray Leonard is and was, and he's one of my favorite of all time, and Marvin Hagler, one of the greatest. When Marvin Hagler finally got that fight with Sugar Ray Leonard that he wanted so bad, I believe he overtrained for the fight. I believe he left some of it in the gym. That, believe it or not, is something that must not happen when such a huge moment is about to come.
Who do you think America wants to see win this fight?
It's very noisy here. Say that again. Talk up, son.
Who do you think America wants to win this fight? Who's the favorite in the eyes of the public between these two?
Listen, if there's a Darth Vader, if there's a love-hate relationship going on, you don't have to be the Mason Kreskin. You don't need Teddy Atlas to tell you, do you? I think it's Floyd Mayweather. He's Darth Vader, you know, a little bit. You know, he's not quite as mean as Darth Vader, but, you know, and he doesn't have that power stuff that comes out. He just has good defense. But I think that he's probably the guy that people can find an easy way to hate, because not too long ago, very cocky, you know, very conceited. People are going to think he burned up money, he threw money away, he did things like that. You know, that stays with people. Pacquiao never did things like that. The only thing Pacquiao did, he sings very bad. Very bad. But other than that, you know, he's got a different kind of image. So if America, you're asking me a tough question, but I can give you an answer. I think that's the answer. I think they would probably, more so than not, maybe because of that, be on the side of a guy named Pacquiao.
I'll tell you what, if this fight is half as entertaining as the interview that Teddy Atlas just gave us, we're in for something on May 2nd. Teddy, we will see you and Joe Tess at the top of the hour over on ESPN2 for Friday Night Fights. Thanks a lot.
My pleasure.
In a more serious note, switching gears to the NBA, you may have heard about this. Miami Heat concerned that forward Chris Bosh may have developed a blood clot in his